Now I have 7:30.
All right, it's a good thing we waited. We have more.
So we're going to begin tonight's meeting in a little different way. Boy Scout Troop 71 is going to lead the board and everyone here in a pledge.
You guys want to come over?
Sure, come on down.
Does anybody want to use the microphone? Our flag is up here, our camera's over there, so pick your spotlight. Y'all can see the flag?
I don't know.
No, don't need to move.
Okay, Scout salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, folks. Very nice.
Good job. Good job.
Now you're going to stay around and see how local government functions.
Yep. What about Merit Badge learning?
Oh, good.
Ah, merit badge, okay. Could I have a motion to approve the village board meetings from the meeting May 4th, 2023?
Moved.
I will second.
Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next on the agenda is citizens' comments, specifically Reverend William Mudge.
Evening.
Hello.
Welcome.
I think you folks received a copy of this letter from Reverend Jeff Hodge over at the church. We were hoping to have the church on the island again this year. We've done it 7 years. Pastor Patty Walls started it back before I came to town. I think all the details are in there. We get together around 7 to set up, and by 9 o'clock we are out of the way. And wanted permission to use the island again this year.
Same exact way you did it last year, the year before?
Oh, we always hope to do better.
Right.
But yeah, probably the same way.
You're going for a big crowd this year.
Yeah, we're packing it. We get over 500, we'll give you $1.
Who's counting?
It'll be there at 7 o'clock. Bring the coffee with you.
There you go.
Do many of the boaters come over?
Some, yeah. We've actually been pretty pleased to have folks sit on their boats and listen, and some have actually come across.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And just for the community's information,
Sure.
it's my understanding that it isn't always the Methodist pastor out there that.
No, we would like it to be
Many churches involved.
all the churches, everybody gets one try. Pastor Jeff and I fill in the gaps, and you'll probably get stuck with me a couple or 3 times. That's just the way it works out.
Excellent.
But all are welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
When does this begin and when does it end?
Well, we're going to start on Sunday, June 18th. We'll go through till September 3rd.
Okay.
We get there set up, and then service starts at 8. And if I'm not done by 8:30, they leave without a benediction. So it's a pretty guaranteed to be a half hour.
Cool.
And you're shine only, not rain or shine, right?
Well, we've moved up into the shell a couple of times. I mean, if it's awful, we won't. But if it's just a little sprinkle, we'll move up in the shell. And there'll be 10 or 15 stalwarts.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, what action is required by us?
Just a motion.
Could I have a motion authorizing the church on the island to take place with our blessing?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Amen.
That was good.
All in favor?
Let it be so.
I like the amen. Thanks a lot for your day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Next on our agenda is Ken Schmidt from the Rotary Club.
I am Ken Schmidt from Rotary. I've been here a couple times before asking this exact same request. So we're doing Scenic River Days September 9th, September 10th. What's that?
June.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's September. September 9th is my birthday, so.
We'll have a big party out there.
So June 9th, June 10th, we're doing Scenic River Days. June 9th is food trucks and fireworks, same thing as we did last year, and 3 years ago, we obviously had a break for COVID a bit. We've got 3 bands coming. We've got Vote for Pete again, who's been a great band every time we've had him. We have the Beeville Pet Band coming, and then we've got the new band Chasing Neon, who if you haven't seen, they are really good. So we're looking forward to that. It will be going from 5 to 10:30 or so on Friday night. We are asking for a waiver from the $1,000 island fee, and then also from the open container. And then on Saturday, we're going to be doing the family festival. It goes from, I believe, 10 o'clock until about 4:30. We'll be doing the duck pluck. We're not doing nobody wants to get in the river anymore. So we'll be doing that event on Saturday. So looking forward for everybody coming, and hopefully you will approve our request.
So, not that this is your problem, but we always get issues with people saying, why are the fireworks so late? So, you're essentially saying right now the fireworks aren't gonna start until 10:30?
They start when it's dark. They will, so the event, typically it starts when it gets dark, a little after it gets dark,
You have a
which is
band playing
around,
until 10:30?
what's that?
You have a band playing until 10:30 or does it?
No, we won't have the band playing until 10:30.
Fireworks would be like at 9:45.
9:45, just, yeah, right around that
One
time.
year that it was on River
It wasn't Seneca River Days.
Right, but it was late.
It was late.
July 4th.
It was the July 4th.
Alright, so we're typically done by 10:30. The fireworks are 20, 30 minutes. So,
They have to come back to work the next day, so they're not going to stay out there all day long.
yep.
So we just had a discussion amongst ourselves that we have for years been waiving the rental fees in full
Yeah.
for nonprofits, probably to the detriment of the village, because
Okay.
we do put resources into events even when they're for not-profits. So what the board has settled on is we would be willing to do a 50% waiver of the fee.
Sounds
So for the island, for this case, it would be a $500.
No, we can't do it on that. Yes. No.
Realizing that you guys are
Yeah.
Still making money on
Maybe
it, but
having
we cover
successful
our expenses
events.
and not the taxes
Yeah.
expenses,
Understood.
that's
Yep.
all.
So if you're comfortable with that, then we would make our, the waiver for a 50%.
Sounds good. We can accept that. So we appreciate everything that the village does.
And Mags agreed to buy additional tickets.
Yeah.
I don't buy extra bucks.
Already got 45 ducks.
Well, if you wanted ducks, you could have told me.
Oh, sorry.
I should have brought ducks tonight. Wow. Abe?
Next meeting.
Yeah.
So can I have a motion waiving 50% of the rental fee for the island and approving the open container?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Do we have the hours for the open container?
It would be 5 to 10
There,
or
10:30,
yeah.
10:30.
because,
Well, you're going to hang around out there.
well, if somebody buys their last beer before the bar can close at whatever time you want, but if someone still has an open container of alcohol,
Good point.
the Rotary Club would be on the hook for it, if they drink really slow.
Yes.
You might have shorted it.
Well, there may be some Rotarians that
Yeah, you
are.
might want to make it 11.
Gotta clean up.
I do not drink the empty beers, John. I don't do that.
Anymore.
No matter how many times you've seen it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing everyone.
Take care.
Are there any other citizens that would like to speak? Including our scouts. You have something you'd like to bring forward to the village board, you're welcome.
Oh, if you don't mind, can I ask a question? Do I need to?
You gotta come up here and tell us
I'll
your name.
participate in local government just like the.
There you go.
So, I don't know if this has been discussed or not in the past.
First off, say your name and.
I'm sorry, my name is
where you
Chris
live.
Van Cor. I live up in Indian Springs. I'm the Scoutmaster for Troop 71. So, I've wondered in the past if it was possible to get some kind of lighted flashing beacon on the crosswalk in front of the library there. Maybe you've had this conversation a million times, I don't know. But since it's on my mind talking about local stuff, I've seen it before, it seems effective. There's been a number of times where it's been a close call in the dark.
I'm gonna push it over to Mike.
Yeah, we have had this discussion numerous times.
I bet.
We have-
We haven't discussed it in a while. where it's not-
We haven't, but we have been approved for the state to put them in 3 locations, that being one of them, that has a button with flashing lights and everything. We got approved for that. They said they don't know when it's coming, but those are state roads, and
So anyway,
they're approved.
It stays
It could be,
We don't have the authority.
it could be next week. It could be,
Okay.
but it is, no.
Yeah, well, you know
Mike,
what?
could
It's
you
just been on my mind in the past. There's
What are the 3 locations?
Yeah, I'd be happy to write a letter to the state, and if all of our scouts did the same, maybe kind of push our representatives to kind of make something happen, because that would be very helpful.
Okay.
And I've had some close calls there myself.
Yeah.
I believe we were first initially approved for 2.
Right now?
Red Mill, and then East Genesee Street by the library. And then I believe the chief ended up talking with the state. Yes, and on Brown Street because of the school crossings, so.
So the signage and everything is the property of the state.
State roads.
The state roads, yeah.
They have all the authority on the state road.
Anybody else have any questions? Anything?
It's a good question, though.
Thanks.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And moving on to trustees' comments. I think we started to the right last week, so we'll start to the left.
I'll just stick to the agenda tonight. Thank you.
I'll mention that Margarita Fest is, save the date, scheduled for July 15th, correct me if I'm wrong, from noon to 5 in the village. Tickets will be on sale soon, so keep an eye on Facebook. It's a great event for volunteers on it. Other than that, the agenda. Unless you were going to say that too.
I wasn't. I will stick to the agenda.
I will stick to the agenda also.
Agenda's good with me too.
Just want to say congratulations to all the newly elected members of the school board. Big turnout for the school board, obviously for reasons that were positive and negative. But and everybody have a good Memorial Day. And after that, I'll stick to the agenda.
Can I interject,
No.
Dick, before I turn it over to you? On the, well, see, we're sitting here, we have the agenda, but I know people out there may have picked them up. Under new business, items A and C, we're taking off the agenda, so we're going to be left with item B.
There's nothing on for new business. Is it? It's right.
Why is C being removed?
Yeah, what?
Because I was advised by our DPW superintendent and our police lieutenant to remove it. That they have things, they're dealing with
Okay.
things.
Okay. Very good.
Movie.
I'm up.
You're up now. Yeah, we'll let you go.
Okay. A few things. Bruce and I met the other day with a representative from EDR to try to get, he wanted to try to get a better picture of what we might be looking for in a, whether it be a master plan, a comprehensive plan, whatever we are thinking about. And our first emphasis was on property that has not been worked on, like stretches of Canton Street and the 19 Phillips Street property that is available and on the market, to give us some sort of control, or at least the ability to tell developers what it is that we like and don't like in the uses of that property, and have it on paper that this has been approved, been discussed, and I thought it was a pretty good meeting. We will get a proposal probably in time for the June 1st meeting. my hunch is that what we're gonna hear is somewhere in the $80,000 range, 75,000. It kind of chokes you quick, but, it was an interesting conversation, and I hope that, we can have more within the board about it. If anybody has any questions, you can certainly send me an email or call me.
Dick, can I jump in for a minute? Dick?
Yep.
Since you mentioned that $80,000, the company also mentioned that new round of consolidated grants by the state specifically points out that's one of the things they like to fund. So that, they would be pursuing funding for it. Yeah, at least in part.
That certainly would be a great way for us to go and cut down on what we would be responsible for. And so, this is a pie in the sky kind of thing right now. We're not sure if it's too expensive, whether we want to really go through with it, but I think it's important that we give it a good look. Everybody has their eye on what every community should be doing to improve housing for Micron coming to town and other things. And I tried to point out to EDR the other night that we do have about 4 places in the village in which construction is imminent. And one of them is Lock Street, and in case anybody hasn't been down there lately, they have started on if you remember the properties, the 2 apartment buildings, then there was going to be some garden apartments, and then maybe some townhouses, and at the end would be 10 long, thin New Orleans shotgun-style properties going from the sidewalk to the river. And one of those properties is already being developed. There was a foundation in the last time I looked, and there may be framing going up. I haven't been down in a few days. So they've started looking at the individual single homes. There's a spot for 10 of those. We still have Morgan property over at Tri-County Mall that is only half developed. We expect that at some point they're going to try to finish that up. We put in a proposal for Restore New York, that area behind Beeville Supply and over to the old Barnes Dairy. I mean, within a year or 2, we could have quite a bit of construction going on in the village. So if people think we're obligated to provide more housing, I think we're already in the stages of doing that. So we should be hearing from EDR somewhat soon. I've got to get them a map of the village to show them where the undeveloped properties are, so they have a little something more to work with.
There are 10 of them, 10 copies of the map available.
Yep. Actually, Tim Gainey was going to leave me some maps, so I can mark it.
Yeah, they're in there.
Okay. Saturday is the village-wide garage sale. Runs from 9 to 3. If people want to get involved, they contact Chamber of Commerce and get on the list so that people will know that your house is on the garage sale spectacle, so to speak. Unfortunately, they won't see this until probably after the garage sale, but the visitor center will be opening Memorial Day weekend and run through Labor Day, basically. You run daily 10 to 4, 2-hour shifts. If there's anybody in the community that thinks sitting at the visitor center and telling people good places to eat and where there's a drugstore and where they can get a park for their boat, that type of stuff, call the chamber and tell them you're interested in getting signed up to be a volunteer. It's not a bad job, and it's really appreciated by the voters who are from other places and come in and don't have any idea of what's available in the community, and you're their first source. Let me see, what else have I got here? I'd like to throw out a plea to our residents. If you see people spray painting on buildings and on bridges, or if you see people destroying village property, getting on the roof of pavilions and tearing off shingles and throwing them around, please call 911 so our village police can know about it and go over and do something. In the past, we've arrested a few people. We've filed charges to try to discourage other people from doing it. We need your eyes to help us. We can't be everywhere. So that's a plea that I hope you'll react to. And don't forget the Memorial Day Parade, May 30th, 6 o'clock. Just a reminder to people that when we have a parade, the Four Corners area is shut off to traffic from like 5:45 to about 6:30 or 7:30. So if you have to go somewhere at that time of night, if you're on this side of the river, you have a kid playing Little League, that type of thing, you can't go through the Four Corners at 6 o'clock. You might have to go up to the 690 bridge west of the village. You may have to go around Cold Springs area over to John Glenn and come around that way. But please don't scream and yell that you didn't know about it. I mean, we have the parade every year except one year because of COVID. It's always on the 30th. It's always basically at the same time. And I feel bad that people don't remember that we have the parade. And when they see that the traffic's tied up and Lieutenant Lockwood has to explain to them why they can't get through the Four Corners, maybe we can head some of that off now by reminding people that the parade is coming. So, and I go along with Nate. I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people at the parade. Hope we get some nice weather. And the speaker is Blaine Fleming. He's the master guest, former veteran of 2 wars, and terrific guy. So it should be a very nice ceremony over at the cemetery. And other than that, stick to the agenda.
Thank you. Moving on to our department heads, starting with our attorney.
Unless there's any questions, I'll stick with the agenda.
Okay. Our village clerk, Jody.
I will stick to the agenda, thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, just a couple things. We had a very successful health and wellness event yesterday. It did start out with a few plumbing problems in our main bathroom, so I need to thank the superintendent of public works for making sure people came over and took care of that, and everything went along smoothly after that. I also want to thank the DPW for rototilling our garden because it's now ready for the seniors to plant as soon as we stop having frost at night. Just want to mention one more thing for everyone. Our golf tournament, this will be the second golf tournament, is scheduled for this year on June 19th. Everyone's welcome, public's welcome. If you're interested in golfing, just come over and see us for a registration or check out the village website for a registration and come and have a good time. Other than that, unless anybody has any questions.
Where's your golf tournament?
Battle Island this year. So it's a Monday, June 19th.
Nice course. Nice course, but if you have a slice, you don't want to play there.
That's my problem.
Well, then you could be a whole sponsor. Okay, thank you.
48. Yeah, I had a truck there. Moving on to our codes officer's not here, so we'll move on to Public Works and Chuck.
Yep, and we're right into summer stuff here now. We tried getting our docks in today. We had a problem with the boat, so the docks, we only got a couple docks in today. Hopefully next week we're gonna be able to finish up on that. The downtown, we're getting the benches in, the garbage cans out. The flowers are gonna be going up Monday. They came in today. The flower club went up and got them all straightened out for us. Did a great job. We're gonna try to get those out Monday. The sidewalks, we get a lot of phone calls about the sidewalks and the trenches on either side of the sidewalks. We know about it. We're trying to get them fixed. This year, it just didn't freeze, and the sidewalk plow normally goes across all that area and it's froze, and this year he just kept sinking in and sinking in. So I mean, some of the walks they're a foot deep or better. We'll be following up and taking care of them. I want to thank Dick for talking about some of the graffiti down in Mercer Park here. I think the picnic table's been out 3 weeks. We had to go paint them all. We're just getting a lot of graffiti and doing some damage in the buildings there. And like we say, if someone sees them, just let us know and please get right down there and maybe get a handle on it. Other than that, stick to the agenda. Any questions?
I have a question. Have you had a chance to decide where the kayak facility will be in Community Park?
We haven't heard from them. We know where we want it, and
Okay, that's just if you have a location
Yeah.
figured out.
Yeah, we're gonna put it right down around the circle, just off to the side a little bit.
Because they said they'd be here in June, I think.
Yep, and they changed the, I think they changed the banner. I saw something, I don't know if the mayor saw, I saw something, they're gonna change the banner on it. But yeah, as soon as they get here, let us know, we'll be ready for them.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be a big deal at all, just make a little spot for them and they're gonna put it down.
Thank you. Moving on to police and Lieutenant Lockwood.
Unless anyone has any questions for me, I'll just stick to the agenda.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the agenda. No pending business. Under new business, could I have a motion to appoint the following as a seasonal DPW worker with an effective date of May 22nd, 2023? Brian Rose for lawn mowing and park maintenance at $17.43 an hour.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Good guy.
He's our third part-timer that's gonna be coming on. The grass is getting ahead of us and actually his son works for us. He's excited to come on board.
His son works for you?
His son does, yeah. His son is Alex Rose in the water department.
Okay.
And Alex started off here mowing lawns, and he does a great job for us too, so. We need a third person or.
You ever reach out to my Uncle Larry? My Uncle Larry Collins about part-time lawn mowing?
They talked to us last
He
year.
mows 3 times a day, so I think he'd be good, pretty good.
Him and the sidekick, we talked to us last year, and I already had people for this year, but.
Oh, yeah.
I hear Mark's voice in my head from across the pond there in London. How much are we approving here? Just $17.43 per hour.
How many hours
are we?
Oh, we didn't put that down. He'll be the first one to go. Well, he'll be the first one at the end of the year to go. I don't have an hourly thing, but we should have put that down on it. We did not.
Generally,
I didn't get that
part-time
dream.
workers are limited to 1,040 hours.
They're only here
Make
4
that as
hours.
part of the motion?
What's that again?
Usually they're limited to 1,040 hours because that puts them, otherwise you're moving into a different classification.
We can make that part of the motion.
We can adjust it if we need to later.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's something new. We did forget about that. We put that on there.
So did you make it part of the motion? Is it
Yes.
part of the motion?
Yeah.
Amend the motion to 1,040 hours.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried? And just like last year, when the weather was nice and you needed to keep people on, you just come to us.
Yep.
We'll make it happen.
Yep.
Okay, could I have a motion to pay bills as audited?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:58.
I'll make that. Yeah, I'll second it then.
Oh, gee, he seconded it.
Yeah, and that's what, even when I talk to you today.
All in favor?
I talked to Mike before, 'cause I'm-
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thank you.